he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They're pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now Gurley, handoff left. Room here to run. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down now, Hill. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Rodgers. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play for the Pack on 3rd. And even 40 yards. Now they'll run it on the toss. And past the 30 down to about the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Underneath here to Hill. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
And his kick is indeed good, and a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he is out of bounds here on the return. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. The play clock's running down. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught at the 20. And they rattle off a big one. 56 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They run. It's Gurley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Again, they run with Gurley. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Prescott now. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to the booth right after this. See if they stay on the ground for second down. On play action, Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. On the toss, it's Gurley. Good move by Gurley. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
So the chains are on their sides. It's first and goal from the 6. Oh, how about this on first and goal? And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing. And as a player, that means an awful lot.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Prescott on third and goal. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Around the NFL, second quarter in Indianapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Fielded about a yard deep. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're going to face a third down. Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line.
26.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando, he's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, they're in the second quarter at Heinz Field. The Jets out to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now this offense about ready to take over again. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Brandon, you know how we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan? That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball? And in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
So the D-line's going to spread out. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. Room to run inside the 40. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. And all the way in for the touchdown. Todd Gurley with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And the lead will grow. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So 2nd and 10 here. Now a 10th carry for Hill. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Trying to hit the tight end Bennett, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Throwing is Rodgers. Flushed out right. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And he will have a touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
On 2nd down, Hill. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Following the penalty, it's Hill. He was trying to turn the corner, but he will go nowhere. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Here's Prescott. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line. And now the Packers get set to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Again, it's Hill. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. To throw is Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. Again, they run with Hill. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A third quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. And the Giants are starting to pull away in that one. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Zone. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. 319. Get 300. Check 319.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
Here we go. Kill. We're going to 54. Wide in.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Shreds the tackle, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Double tight, guys. Double tight.
Here's Prescott. That escapes the sack. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It's a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Wide in. Trip. Kill. Go. Here we go. Wide in.
Play action now. Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And on now is the punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Once again, Hill, he's been busy. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Packers on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
And here now the offense heading back out there. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
For Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Another carry now for Gurley. They had a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Prescott from the gun. Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Elsewhere, they're into the fourth at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their second on the young season. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The offense on third down, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. They bring their punter out there now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He won't go down. 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Pull down. Kelly, come left, Kelly. 319.
They run it again with Hill. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
The Packers on third down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
319.
Now Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help it.